Hey guys, this is Alan with the Lonely Bookshelf here for Friday Reads. This is going to be my third video I've done today. The first two were actually vlogs and showing you around the neighborhood where I live and talking about the elementary school I went to. So be sure to check those out. The Friday Read, so I finished one book. In fact, I finished it today. I'm actually reading like 4 books at the time. So, yeah, the first one I finished was the, someone's clear here. It's The Haunting of Brynn Wilder, and it was by Wendy Webb. Let's get closer there. Yeah, the cover is misleading because it shows a woman in red sort of walking on the lake. Brynn Wilder is about well, let me take this back. Brynn Wilder is a woman who just lost her mother. Her friend Kate invites her to go to Wharton, which is a small community, kind of a tourist community off of Lake Superior, to spend the summer. So Brynn Wilder decides to do that to kind of rejuvenate, to help with the coping of her loss of her mother to cancer. In the book, you think that first the book, you think she was like 20 something. Turns out she's in mid-40s, and because she had been a university professor, she had been married before, been 20 years, and didn't have any children, and yeah, she got divorced, and she's staying at this inn in Wharton rather than with their friend Kate. And at the end, you meet characters like Luann, who runs the inn for the summertime. During the wintertime, it's closed up. And meet Greg, who is the lead chef, cook at the end. You meet 2 characters named Jason and Gil, who are married to each other, and who have who during the story they have the kind of a comical relief. You then Jason's wife comes there because he has Alzheimer's, and so they must be in their like 60 years old. Jason has divorced his wife Alice, so he could go marry a guy, and and then Brynn meets a mysterious man who nobody knows about. He just has tattoos on his body, and they call him the Illustrated Man, taken from Ray Bradbury's story, The Illustrated Man. And but Brynn comes up to the Illustrated Man. His name is Dominic. He has a mysterious past he doesn't want to talk about, and Brynn and Dominic hook up. And Brynn is actually the only one at the end who ever sees the ghost, the spirits. There's one room at the end, room 5, which is locked up because Luann came back during the spring after the winter, excuse me, to open up the inn and saw a woman dead in one of the rooms. And that woman haunts Brynn, and she goes, "Do you have a lot of the haunting, the noise, the calling?" So when Alice appears, the one lady, excuse me, sorry, Jason's ex-wife appears. She has Alzheimer's. She calls Brynn's name late at night. Brynn wakes up, goes outside, and Alice takes her and shows her into the room to where there's a lady sitting on a rocking chair in front of the fire holding a book called The Illustrated Man. It takes place in Ray Bradbury. So Brynn goes to the bookstore and gets the copy of The Illustrated Man. But it, because everybody's doesn't know anything about Dominic, mysterious. But she forgets all about the book. She forgets about anything. Her Kate, her best friend, said that Dominic is kind of wanted for murder because of the suspect in the murder of the woman who they found in room 5 and the excuse me, I'm trying to think it the rest of the story. But basically I lost interest in the story, and the reason is because it turned into a love story instead of it turned into a love story instead of a horror story. Still the god. Excuse me, I need something to drink. Sorry about that. And it turned out to be a love story instead of a instead of a horror story. She had forgotten about the horror. She had forgotten about the title, which was The Haunting of Brynn Wilder. The author forgot the title totally, and plus the fact that I don't think any person, male or female, that had just lost a parent to cancer, who's in town to recuperate from that loss, is going to be instantly fall in love. No, that's not going to happen. I'm sorry. That's not going to happen at all. To me, at least, that's the problem with it. And so that was the whole problem with it, was that it was just instant love when it shouldn't have been. There was no horror. The book was mistitled, so it wasn't a very, very good book. I just lost interest in it real quick. That's the only book I finished. I'm currently reading The Last Bees by Ernst Junger. On page 132. This is really short. I should have been finished by then. Now I got less than 100 pages to go. I'm also reading the Four Gospels, commentary on the Holy Scriptures of the New Testament, Volume 1 by Archbishop Afri. I've been trying to read this every day, but some days I don't read it, and I got to the part where Jesus cleansed the temple, which is in John 2:13-25. And Jesus' Passover pilgrimage to Jerusalem during the course of his 3 years of public ministry for the Pilgrim Feast. And there at Jerusalem, you have the casting out of the merchants, that was set up in so-called court of the Gentiles, and the marketplace with the gathering of sacrificial animals, arranged occasionally with birds, put up stands for selling everything necessary for bringing sacrifices, and set up a money-changing station. And Roman coins were used in general circulation, but the law required that any donations to the temple must be paid by the Jewish shekel. So that's interesting to note, because when later on in the Gospels, when Jesus is confronted by the Pharisees, who are the religious leaders, and they asked, whose image is on the coin, and they said Caesar's. That coin was a Roman coin, and it should not have been. It should have been a Jewish shekel, which Caesar wouldn't be on there. His image wouldn't be on there. So anyway, Jesus says, "Take these things away. Do not make my Father's house a house of merchandise." As the high priest come to him and say, "What sign do you show us since you've done these things?" And Jesus said to them, "Destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will rise it up." And Jesus and the Jews said they built that. Took it 40 years to build the temple, which is the second temple, the temple of Herod. And that was a sign that they asked for. And what he was saying was the temple of his body, that he'll raise it up. And it's interesting to note that the Greek word egero, which is Egero, is translated as "I will rise up." In English actually means "I will wake up," which of course could be not possibly be reference to the building, but makes more sense referring to a person in a deep sleep. So that's how he got to the resurrection. I'm also reading a book which is great. It's a thriller. And my first time to read this author. This is Greg Erwitz, Prodigal Son. This is an Orphan X novel. There have been 5 books in the Orphan X series of books, and it's about a guy by the name of Evan Smoke, who is, and this is the first one I've read, by the main character, Evan Smoke. And this one is very good because I missed my bus stop when I was reading it. And just like a thrill author should do, is keep you engaged and keep you turning the pages on the story. And this story, Greg, Orphan X, who is Evan Smoke, you have a kind of a background to where Evan Smoke was in foster care program, and a mystery man shows up, and everybody, all the kids know about the mystery man because he'll take one child and leave and never see that child again. So Evan Smoke gets some kind of just tricks his way to get out of there. The mystery man will take him at first because Evan Smoke is too small, and but he is persistent. Evan Smoke is persistent. Evan is persistent and said he wants to go. And so, immersed with that is a woman who calls Evan, and see, Evan got a presidential pardon since he works for a secret agency, a secret organization. No one knows who he is. He doesn't leave a paper trail. He doesn't leave fingerprints. He doesn't leave anything. And the president gives him a pardon, and so he can't do anything about it when this woman calls and says that she needs his help. And but he's sort of retired. They can't do anything. And the woman is his mother. So you have, we found out that a couple of the people that were in the foster care with Evan, this is why they had this is why they have the kind of background story in this book, is because the people he knew in foster care are in trouble. And one of them he'd been haunted by 2 people because he witnessed the murder. So it's a very, very, very good book. It comes out on the 26th of this month, and I need to get this read and write a review on it. There's a release date, 26th of January 2021. So I need to get this read quick and write a review on it and post it on Amazon, post it on Barnes & Noble website and my Goodreads and Instagram, my review of it. So yeah, it came to me through the Minotaur books and the and NetGalley. So thank you very much for watching. Have a good weekend. Take care.